What was Japan like?
Japan was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the kids there are like so. How do you call it? Yeah, enthusiastic because they got God at the airport and everything else when we came in and when we left. It was crazy. Every night in the lobby there was like at least 100 to 150 kids in there.
Yeah.
Like sitting down and hotel people would go, "We'll never have a rock band stay here again." Okay. I mean, in America, it's like that's real mild-mannered because the kids would sit there and they'd be like real nice. In America, they trash everything.
Had you been there before?
No, it's the first time.
First time.
Wow. Yeah. It was great.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was just the right time to go?
The right time for us. They've been running this over there for quite a while. Every show was sold out.
Was it really?
Yeah.
How many shows did you play?
We played 6 shows in like 10 days.
Did you take the whole production over?
No.
What did you leave behind?
Our whole stage that we have here, you know, we had them build, you know, our stage over there. This is like production costs and everything else was a lot cheaper to have them just build something there instead of shipping all of our stuff over.
When you put the record together, were you thinking about how it might be staged? I mean, was it like a whole concept behind the whole theater idea?
Pretty much of what we do is pretty much planned out. A lot of it's spontaneous. You know, we sit around and we think about a concept and we think about how we can tie in a stage show with it and everything else. But then there's a lot of other things that just like happen that, you know, that just goes right along with the flow of it, that just happens.
How do the songs tend to come about? I mean, is it guys working on their own and bringing in tunes, or?
I'll tell you, "Fight for Your Rights" came about is a song that Nikki and I was working on in Germany, and then there was like, it was just like one little part. We couldn't think of anything else to do with it. And then one day at sound check, I was just sitting around and goofing around, just like getting a tone on my guitar, and I came up with a riff and I fit it all together.
Really?
I went home and got real drunk and fit it all together, and it worked. And that's like just one. Home Sweet Home came about like maybe 3 years ago. Tommy was sitting goofing around on the piano and he came up with that piano lick that's in there. And then it's like, just wrote the song around that.
So I mean, ballads are something the band's always wanted to do?
Well, we did a ballad on the first album, which was, what was the name of it? Merry-Go-Round, on the very first album. And, you know, so it's like, ballads, I don't mind, you know, playing ballads because I can do a lot of guitar work in those things. But not to say that we're anti-ballad because we do ballad, so I don't know.
But I mean, the way that people may see Mötley Crüe doing ballads, and you know, there's an audience that.
No, I think they might expect us to do it.
Yeah.
Because we did do Merry-Go-Round. I'm a space cadet.
My sessions are amazing.
So there's piano. Is that? I mean, have you used much piano before in records?
No, we have used keyboards like for fillers, but it's been real subtle. This time, it's because you know, a larger budget. We can go out and we can buy the keyboards that we need and stuff. Because Nikki and Tommy know how to play keyboards, so it's just like we can make them more predominant now because we can use them on stage too.
So what are the keyboards we'll be using on stage?
Nikki's using some Taurus pedals. I don't know the name of that one synthesizer he has.
DXL? Yamaha?
No, I think it's a Roland.
A Roland.
And Tommy's using the Yamaha electric band. And so we got to use this time.
And you're using Kramer's.
Right,
obviously.
exclusively.
Yeah. So I mean, what had you been using?
Oh, anything from Les Pauls to Strats to Hammer and
Yeah, hammers. That's what you used to use.
huh?
Hammers are the one I remember using.
Yeah.
Hammer guitars.
They built me one that was really nice, but then after that it kind of went like downhill. And I don't like to talk badly about anybody, but they did tend to go like down.
Right.
That's why I never like signed any kind of endorsement with them. I was like being a freelance, so I could use what I want.
I see. I see. So what was it about Kramer that interested you?
I used 3 or 4 different guitars on Theater of Pain, and I'm not going to mention any names at all. And none of them would stay in tune. None of them would do anything that I wanted to do. So I had Tim go out, that's the bass tech, Nikki's bass tech, go out and pick me up a Kramer from the Guitar Center. And I liked it so much, and just the tone on it and everything, the way it played, the action, everything was perfect, what I've been looking for. Stayed in tune, I could do anything with it, it was perfect. So that's when I started going with them.
So what's that one that you're using now?
That's a Beretta.
Beretta. And you were talking about the pickups that you were having some problems.
On the custom one they built me, Kramer, the one with the faces that I used to do. They had a new Seymour Duncan pickup in it. This is like a prototype or something. And the trouble with that one was it was like too high-endish. It would like squeal and feed back like at anything. So I had it potted, and it still didn't like cut it off. That high thing. So I just changed the pickups with another Kramer that I have.
What kind of pickup is that now?
I think it's just a stock Kramer pickup. Shallow. Yeah.
And you like the Floyd Rose?
Yeah, I like Floyd Rose. I like Kahlers a lot too, though. No, I like them both pretty much. There's different things about both that I like, about each other. Like I like the Kahler because you can come up on the whammy.
Right.
And I like the Floyd because it tends to stay more in tune than the Kahler does.
I mean, I was trying to play the guitar. It's very stiff.
Yeah, the Kahler,
you play
the
it?
Kahler is really light. Well, I'm still like getting used to the Floyd.
Are those the normal gauge strings you use on there also?
Yes.
Those you use? They seem very light.
They are. Well, I also detune too. I tune it a full step down.
You do?
Yeah. It makes it bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. What gauges do you use?
Let me see, it's been a long time since I strung on my guitar. I believe it's a 10, a 12, 17, 26, 32 and 42, something like that.
Sounds right.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think tuning down because that set really isn't that light, but I think tuning down like that makes them real.
So I used to use Gibson 740 XLs, which was a 9 on the top, and then when I started tuning a step down, the strings was too rubbery. When you hit it like a chord, but it'd be out of tune.
Right.
So,
who makes these strings?
Ernie Ball.
Ernie Ball. Is that Dunlap little pick that you use? Is that what you use?
No, I use Hercos.
That was your pick.
Well, it's yours.
That is a good one.
I mean, is that what happens to you? Does it tend to get bent like that, like kind of curving around your finger?
I bend them like that.
You do?
I take them like when they're brand new. And bend
I
them.
go around the house and bend them straight.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they fit better, and it's like when you start fanning and stuff, and you can do like how you do like a chime, you like hit with your pick, but you chime it off your thumb. It works a lot better when it's like curved.
Kind of bent. And you do a lot of that on that.
Yeah. Right.
So you didn't have this guitar then for the album?
The theater paying guitar. No, I had the black Beretta.
You did.
Yeah,
That's on the video.
Yeah, I called up the Guitar Center, and
Dave.
they wanted to charge me $850 for it, and I said, hey, wait a minute, I'll give you $600 for it. And they go, well, $650 for the case, and I said, look, I'll give you $600 for it. I'll call it Kramer, and I'll get it for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I wish you would have called me.
Well, I didn't even know if that was going to work, you know, because I never talked to Kramer before.
Well, the power of play.
That's how I had to do it.
Yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
So is this the guitar that you mainly use for the road?
I got when Kramer found out that I liked the guitar so much, and with Rudy and everything, they gave me a couple other guitars, a white Beretta and a candy apple red one, and the white one has turned out to be my favorite one.
Really?
And the springs on the Floyd is a lot easier, and the neck is pretty much the same as the others, but just the weight of the body and the way that it is and everything sounds a little, it's a little different than the other guitars I have. My black one is a little deeper tone, a little more richer, and the white one is more bright, more like, brassier sounding.
You play any? I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Comedy Tragedy one, the theater pain guy, I haven't tried now, only on my little amp at home, and it's like everything sounds the same on a well-distorted amp. So.
You mentioned you use Marshalls?
Yeah, I use, let's see, how many do I use? I got 4 Marshall stacks, but I only use one head, one stack, and the rest I have through other amps, so I can be like monitors all over the stage.
I see.
Can you bring me a side order of periodical songs?
First leg of the tour is Y&T, and then we have Loudness.
Oh, good. You know any of those guys from previous?
I know the lead singer in Loudness. Well, Y&T is just like, we've been playing with those guys. Our very first gig is Mötley Crüe was opening up.
Yeah, for the
Y&T.
Was that Stellar?
Yeah. Small potatoes, just dig in.
It was so crazy because things changed so much. It's not But Leonard, that guy is an animal. The drummer.
Yeah, I just did something with Dave. He said that, like, you guys used to come down and watch these guys, and we generally watch them and stuff.
Right. Man, so different. I remember one time we played at the Concord Pavilion. Did they tell you about that?
No.
We had these little smoke bombs that we'd set off, and they were like red. And Y&T was headlining, and we were opening. And who's that? Randy Hendrix impersonator. Randy Hansen, yeah. We're all there. Anyway, to make a long story short, they said that we couldn't use the smoke there or we'd be fined $1,000. We did it anyway. Because it was like, it was part of a show, and we were like trying to be, bigger than life. So it's
Worth $1,000,
right?
In fact,
Right.
They really find you?
Yeah. It was fun. Y&T got a little pissed off at us, but
Did you play any shows with Van Halen?
Yeah. In Europe, the Monsters of Rock. All those.
Was that in Stockholm?
Yeah, there was us and Van Halen and AC/DC. And some of the ones had us and Accept and Gary Moore and Ronnie Dio and Ozzy Osbourne and Van Halen and AC/DC was headlining the whole time.
You never played any like Starwood gigs with Van Halen?
Starwood, no. No.
Okay?
That's still when I was a gutter guy.
Right.
When Van Halen was at the Starwood, yeah.
They were out there quite a bit before Mötley Crüe was starting to play, right?
Yeah. I was in a band called White Horse when Van Halen was around.
White Horse?
Yeah. My band White Horse played with Van Halen a few times.
Really?
In the beginning.
In the beginning?
Yeah. Like, good Lord, Gazzari's.
Really?
As far back as him.
Do you remember watching Ed at all? I mean, did he?
Oh, yeah.
He was.
That guy has always been shredding. Well, he's always been great. And I sat there and my mouth falls open and I go, God damn.
Even back then, you could see, you could sense that.
Right. It was me and my drummer and my old band were real tight. And we'd always travel together. It's like we played at the Golden West Ballroom. We go, well, who are we playing with? We don't know. We go in there and pull up. Van Halen was getting a sound check. We look at each other and just go like, Van Halen, and they're kicking ass. We knew they were going to do it. I was like, wow. Long time ago.
What was that back in those days?
Ed's been pretty much, the same as he's always been. He's like, friendly guy. It's like when the first Monsters of Rock we played in Castle Donington, and I saw Edward walking back to his dressing room. I said, hey, Edward. He looks at me and I goes, remember me? I was from White Horse. And he goes, oh yeah, what are you doing? And he remembered,
Yeah.
And I said, I'm the guitar player in Mötley Crüe. And he goes, no shit, So it's like pretty neat.
Did you ever have a chance to actually play with them or jam or anything?
And then sit down and play with him? No way. That guy would smoke me in the weed, so I'm not even going to attempt it.
I'm surprised Rudy hadn't arranged that.
Nope, I don't think that would be too scary for me. I mean, that guy is too incredible.
I'll tell you something funny though. He's usually pretty shy. And when we did the Kramer session, you got that shit all in your hair now.
Oh no,
Need to help out. When we were done with the session, Woody came by when we were shooting,
right?
and I was going to come by anyway to see you, but then Rudy said, hey, Dennis, the president of Kramer, you're all invited. Rudy invited everybody. And I didn't think Ed was going to go. And obviously he came.
Right.
I thought that was...
Yeah.
Because usually he doesn't do stuff like that, so he feels real good about you guys. He must.
Yeah.
Some camaraderie, because otherwise he would just go back home. I mean,
I like Edward a lot. He's a good guy.
Do you think that Van Halen has any kind of influence musically on what Mötley Crüe did, or?
No, I don't think so, because I knew Van Halen for like such a long time, and it was like if this band was like starting to fall into the category of being a copy Van Halen, I wouldn't like play with them because it's been done. I mean, we're a three-piece like Van Halen, and that kind of stuff, but it's still like not the same.
I'm looking forward to. Not my toast.
You have this and shut up.
Coffee on the side of toast. Garçonis? She says, yeah, there she goes. Walking down.
So you were talking about the Marshalls.
Yeah.
They take a use a redhead and motherfucker like slave amps. Is that what you use?
Yeah. And for, like for monitors, because it doesn't like interfere with like vocals and stuff like that. It just makes it a lot easier.
You use Marshalls in studio?
Yes, exclusively. Well, no, wait a minute. I use Marshalls and I use Gallion Kruger in the studio. I get this huge sound for being like about this big. You know, like the little 5-inch speakers. You know what I'm talking about? Little teeny tiny thing. It has like a stereo chorus in it and everything else.
Almost like a Walkman type of thing.
No, it's like
I know it doesn't look like it, but that's the Walkman
I think it's like the stereo chorus thing. Yeah, it's that real honky sound that I got on the slides, like on the album, like on City Boy Blues, that real hollow honky sound. It's like the Gallion Kruger. Tied in with the Marshall. The Marshall was more the dirt, but in the back, and the Gallion was more pronounced.
Do you spend a lot of time trying to get guitar sounds?
I spent a lot of time trying to get different kinds of tones. Because I had gone in there and had like a regular slide guitar tone, but I just like sticking a mic in a room with a Marshall. But, you know, I wanted something different. You know, it's different, all right.
What about your solos? Are they thought out? Do you work on them?
I didn't have like about half of the solos written. Fight for Your Right solo wasn't written until I went into the studio. Raise Your Hands to Rock. Save Our Souls. That one wasn't written until I went into the studio and like goofed around. The hardest one for me to write though was for Raise Your Hands to Rock, because that's more like a Bad Company feel to it. And I didn't know what the heck to do on that thing, so I just went in and got shit-faced molded on Beaujolais wine. I came up with that.
Thank you.
And it just happened?
Yeah, it took me like I went in for about at least 2 or maybe 3 days trying to write a solo for that song, and I just like couldn't fucking think of nothing. So I just powered down some wine, and all of a sudden it's just like that night about 10 or 11 at night, and then that's when the solo came up.
Do you know when you play the solo, when it's finally happening? Can you tell? Can you feel it?
A lot of times working with Tom Werman, it's like I'm setting and I'm playing this lick and everything else, and it's all done and everything else. And I go, I can do that better. And Tom goes, are you crazy? Listen to this back. And so let's do it back, and it sounds great. And it didn't sound the way that I heard it when I heard it when I was playing.
Thank you. So he helped in that way?
Yeah.
Did he suggest different things to try in terms of guitar sounds and mics and
yeah. Between him and Dwayne Van, the engineer, was they came up with some good combinations of stuff. Because I didn't want to sound like the typical thing. So it's between those two guys and me bitching about everything, came up with some different sounding things.
So you do tend to overdub the guitar solos?
Yeah. I always lay down the rhythm parts first. And then, you lay the solos over the top, of course. And, let me see, what's Home Sweet Home. That clean sounding guitar, right at the beginning, those chime things, I did that one string at a time overdubbing. Yeah. Wow. Because it was like, the way that I wanted it was like, I had my Marshall stack out here, just a single Marshall stack, but cranked up loud and really distorted, dirty, filthy, and just one string at a time to make it like, so you could distinguish it, but it was still like filthy enough to like,
You like working with Roman?
I love Tom. He's great. I think he's like a really brilliant man.
He just did a band that I did, that Boy Meets Girl for A&M, which is on the opposite side of the world,
Right.
what the crew does.
Well, sometimes the producer can be good for one band and not for another.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I could see, he's really good for Mötley. I don't think that he was like, I didn't hear anything brilliant on any of the Twist ones that he did, Twisted Sister. I didn't really hear anything there. He did do a band a few years ago called Mother's Finest that was just like outrageous. And I was just, like there's certain chemistries between people that work and some that don't.
Dwayne Byrne works out with the drums.
Dwayne Byrne is an incredible person. We heard like a lot of things about him, like, oh, Dwayne's real good with the drums, but then he forgets about the guitar. And it's like, that's totally wrong. Because he worked with me as much as he did with Tommy on my tones and stuff. The guitar is just a little bit easier to do because it's one instrument as opposed to like 900,000 drums and cymbals. And
dealing with electronics as opposed to something that's basically acoustic in the sound. So you're happy, you're satisfied with what you did on the record in terms of your playing and sounds? And
yeah, because it gives me room to grow on the next album. And hopefully I won't like overstep my bounds again, so I can like grow for the next and the next. Because that's the way I like to think. Because my guitar playing between this one on Shout is like night and day, and the next album will be the same.
I just think the whole scope of the type of music that you do is expanding. I think it's just kind of, it's been a little too narrow in terms of the type of guitar sounds that you could expect from, these types of bands, the type of music and songs. I think that, with radio changing and videos and the whole thing, I think it's got to reach out a little more.
Yeah. Well, it's like what we're doing is like it's more leaning towards the more hard rock blues influenced, and it's like, give me a blues song, I'll play the shit out of it, because that's what I was really leaned on, is like, Michael Bloomfield, and like old Jeff Beck stuff, all those, those were my like heroes.
You guys have a lot in common.
Beck was my favorite.
Yeah, I met that guy the other day.
Beck?
Yes.
Right.
At the studio. Day? Well, it was like when we was doing an album. It's like the other day was like last month to me. But I just like went into the, the game room is, and I sat there and here comes Jeff Beck, and he looks at me and he goes, oh, hi Mick, and he goes, last night I borrowed your picks, but tonight my fingers aren't working. Can I borrow your fingers? And I went, when I first met him, yes. And I went going, I didn't know what to say to the guy. Here, take this. Take my whole arm.
Where was this?
At the record plant. That guy just, man.
You heard his new record?
Yes. I haven't heard all of it. Well, I did hear all of it, but nothing sticks out like, like the Rod. People get ready.
That's outrageous, isn't it?
Best song on the album, I think.
It reminds me of the Truth days. And Beck Ola and stuff. Beck Ola was alright, but
Truth is the one.
Truth was the one, yeah.
That's what we used in that Kramer ad, the Truth album.
That's a great one. I'm gonna have to remind me to buy that today.
What?
Jeff Beck Truth.
Copy's worn out.
I haven't had it in a while.
When he gets take two.
He was such a young guy when he did that too. I mean, he was only 21 or something, 22.
He just makes me mad. the Yardbirds when he was like great, doing over, under, sideways, down, and all those. I was going like,
Did you do like back cover tunes and like your bands or anything?
yeah. I always wanted to redo Heart Full of Soul, and it's like maybe if I like do a solo album, I'll do that, or like over, under, sideways, down was like a good one. Happenings 10 years time ago, that was a good one. Yeah, all those ones, but like modernized a little bit. So it's, God,
Yeah. Gary Moore did a good job on Shapes of Things.
Gary Moore is another madman. God,
Yeah.
all those guys, man. God.
Yeah. That's where it all came from.
I'll sit there and do my one-noters. No, I'm just kidding.
Who selects the cover tunes? The whole band agrees, or somebody brings it in?
Well, strangely enough, Vince picked out Smoking in the Boys' Room, and we did Smoking in the Boys' Room when we were first together, and stunk. We went, this reeks, so we dropped it, and that was even before we did Too Fast for Love, and so this time. Well, you want to do a cover tune? I don't know if I want to do a cover tune. Let's try Smoking the Boys' Room. I go, God, we tried that already. Tried it again, it smoked.
It's so apropos, and the video looks well.
Right. So it's like the time was right to do it now, but it wasn't then, so obviously, because...
You mentioned a solo record. Something you're thinking about?
It's something I've always thought about. You know, I eventually want to do one. I'm sure that, like, everybody in the band wants to do a solo album. It won't be like, well, I'll be a Mick Mars solo album, but I'd probably have Tommy, like, playing on over half the songs because he's such a good drummer. You know?
Yeah.
Have some guests in, I'll put a rhythm track out and say, Edward, want to play leads? And then I'd leave. Let him play. Now we're the hit.
Yeah, probably.
No,
Jeff, what are you doing?
Yeah, really. Jeff?
Yeah. So you leave Sunday?
Yeah, for Glen Falls.
Glen Falls?
We're doing like some of the smaller places, like 7,000 to 8,000 seaters. You know, for the first like 4 or 5 gigs.
Right.
You know, to get all the production and stuff like worked in. Great, get the rust off of it.
Glen Falls.
Then we're doing Madison Square Garden the 14th. 10 days later, the Forum sold out.
Is it really?
I'm telling you, Nick, you got the world by the balls right now. The plane has just left the runway. You guys have nowhere to go but high on
That's my birthday. To the Forum.
Yeah? You're coming down. Okay. Good, we'll get you nice and rotted.
Rotted. So I was going to think that Glen Falls is the only one who's rotted. When I think about the expression. Rotted, I like that.
Rotted, molded.
Molded, that's what I wanted to say.
And you should have seen Nikki last night. He was hideous. That's another one. It's like hideously rotted.
Right. Power down. That's Rudy's thing too.
Yeah.
Power down.
Powering.
Stay rude.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it like working with Rudy?
I like Rudy a lot. He's great. Real easy.
Yeah.
It's like when I sit and I turn around to say something to him, he's already got it done. You know?